I fell off my chair. Something seriously serious is happening with Ethereum. XRP is going to $20 because of Ethereum mooning here rather shortly. Supposedly because look what just happened. It seems like every day a new institution, company, or an entity buys a bunch of Ethereum off the open market or either over the counter. Something strange is happening, guys. It seems like alt season could be right around the corner. Look at this. Breaking! This whale just bought 30,000 Ethereum worth $138 million. Over the past 2 days, he bought a total of 53,000 Ethereum worth $242,000. Then, 2 whale addresses just bought $150 million worth of Ethereum. 2 whales just bought $150 million worth of Ethereum. That's the second one. A mysterious whale bought $258 million worth of Ethereum. What's going on here? Right? What is happening, guys? BlackRock just bought $500 million worth of Ethereum. The institutions are buying the dip, right? This was all for the past week, basically. Even though we dumped, they're still buying. And it's targeting Ethereum. ETFs bought $500 million of Ethereum. BlackRock bought $318 million. Fidelity bought $145 million. Grayscale bought $50 million, guys. Okay, then Bitmine just bought $130 million worth of Ethereum. They are currently holding $5.2 billion worth of ETH. Alert! Tom Lee's buying $100 million worth of Ethereum. Then BlackRock now holds over $16 billion worth of Ethereum, guys. They didn't buy this to take a loss. There's something interesting happening. So why are all these whales buying so much Ethereum after Ethereum after Ethereum? Right? It's like they shift. It's like they changed their frequency from buying Bitcoin and now buying so much Ethereum, like I'm seeing on my timeline. And then there's just so much liquidity flooding in. Now remember, we want Ethereum to pump, if you guys haven't realized, right? We actually want it to pump due to the XRP versus ETH pairing. If ETH pumps, and we know that XRP versus ETH is gonna, balloon out of proportion, well, it's going to devour Ethereum's ROI. So if Ethereum moons, XRP is gonna moon 2 to 3 times harder. Okay, I'm not kidding. We're going to be talking about the charts here soon. So this is fantastic news. We're literally going to go crazy. Trump bought another $8.6 million worth of Ethereum and then $10 million worth of Bitcoin, right? Then BlackRock just bought $338 million worth of Ethereum, bullish for ETH. Fresh Will again bought $138 million worth of Ethereum. He bought over 200 million ETH over the past 2 days. This whale just bought another 21,000 Ethereum worth $90 million. Whales are buying up like never before. Bitmine Immersion Tech is planning to raise $20 billion to buy Ethereum. What is happening? This is the same playbook as Bitcoin, guys. And remember, the same thing will happen with XRP once these ETFs go live. That's why I call it maximum price suppression. You see the playbook that's happening? Happened with Bitcoin, now happening with Ethereum. Next in line is XRP. And it's going to be launched in the next few months, by the way, if you guys haven't realized. Right, it's only a matter of time of TikTok. $20 XRP is imminent. I'm not kidding. But Bitmine Immersion Technologies Inc. up to $20 billion. Like, how is this even real? Right? Like, what's going on here? Supposedly, they're trying to raise billions upon billions, up to 20 billion, guys, and they're gonna make all that money flood into Ethereum, right? What? Wait, this is diabolical because last time Ethereum treasury companies bought 10 billions worth of ETH, it pumped Ethereum from 2K to 4.5K, right? Plus retail jumping in, because when retail sees FOMO, they're going to be literally on that rocket ship flying to space, guys. Imagine what a 20 billion buy will do, right? People are calling for above 10K, north of 10K prices for ETH. Again, very bullish for XRP. Justin, Ethereum treasury companies are getting ready to buy $27 billion worth of Ethereum. This is 40% of all ETH on exchanges. What? A massive supply shock is coming, guys. Nah, this can't be. It just can't be. What's happening? If this actually comes into fruition, remember when I said my price target of Ethereum by end of the cycle before the collapse appears? You guys remember, right? It's like 30 to 100K, and people thought I was delusional. But now, am I actually delusional? I knew it. I knew that this was going to be happening, guys. Guys, they're gonna be buying half the supply on exchanges. You know it's gonna, yeah. Ethereum is going to like 50 to 100k this cycle. I'm not kidding. ETFs just bought $1 billion worth of Ethereum. USD, BlackRock bought 640 mil ETH. Fidelity bought 270 mil ETH. Grayscale bought 80 mil ETH. The institutions are coming for Ethereum. This happened on August 12th. Rumors are Saudi Arabia is trying to buy Ethereum as well. It seems like they all want ETH, guys. If we look at this chart from BlackRock Ethereum ETF, right? Well, what do we notice? Interestingly, the pattern was slowly last year, slowly ramped up, right? And this was when we had the first peak, okay? A small short-term top. Tariffs were born right here, okay, from Trump, and then we started to ramp up again. The institutions buying ETH, but look what just happened. Last month to this month. Insane, huh? This tells me alt season is around the corner. I don't want to really talk about alt season because this is more mainly to do with Ethereum and XRP here, because I'm going to be saying it here in just a sec. But from Zero Hedge, as algorithms puked Ethereum today on the momentum ignition, you'll never guess what the ETFs did. That's right, they bought all that was for sale, over 600 million in one of the highest inflows days on record, led as usual by BlackRock's $520 million. Right, and this was just recently. Spot Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs record $40 billion in volume, their biggest week ever, Bloomberg reports. So my question is, you know, no one is excited. Retail isn't even here. People are like panicking by each single drop we have on these coins. But little do people realize, when we look to the back end, institutions are literally buying as much as they can, right? This is why Ethereum was flying, by the way, right? It was almost at a new all-time high. Then the reason why they're buying is supposedly is because the price targets are getting crazy, right? Standard Chartered Bank raises its 2025 and Ethereum price target to 7.5k. Banks are now calling for higher prices. Forbes just called Ethereum to 10k. Ethereum ETH price to 10k. Now that we know Ethereum will head to 5 digits, it's gonna literally repeat what Bitcoin did, right? Well, we have to go to this chart because I know a lot of people are bullish on ETH. Okay, I know a lot of people are bullish on ETH, but are you guys? Let me show you guys something that you guys may have not noticed yet. This pairing is the XRP versus ETH pairing. So to all the ETH maxis, this is the Batman call, guys, the Batman signal or sign, and I'm making it purely simple here. You guys should probably exchange your Ethereum to buy XRP. I'm not kidding. I am not kidding. Reason being is because this is the XRP versus ETH pairing, guys. This thing is going to go back up here, minimum to its previous all-time highs, and that is only a what's from this level. 400% a pump for this from this level, guys. 400% pump. Okay, so let's do some quick maths here. Ethereum is gonna pump to, as they're suggesting, 10k. Okay, by this cycle. I'm thinking a lot higher, to be honest. I'm not kidding. I think like 50 to 100k, honestly. So it's gonna go to 10k, guys. Right. So let's just call it a 100% pump from this region. Okay, 100% pump from this region. Now 100%, okay, that takes XRP to $6.50. But remember, it's gonna go about 300 to 400% more than what ETH will do, right? So we add that in, it takes us to around this area, guys. Okay, all the way up to $20, north of $20 basically. Okay, if ETH, that is, heads to 10k, right? And now, if we look at the shorter time frames, oops, not for that, but for XRP versus ETH, look at that. It's holding support where, as we called it for it, it must hold support where? Here in this region, because there's a cluster of resistance, guys, right? It must hold support here. If it could do that, it is right now, but I think what's going to happen here is one more tumble at some point, right? Take this liquidity one final time, then blast off, and then we'll see the true rise happen. which is why I'm saying to all the Ethereum maxis, if you believe Ethereum will head to 10K as Forbes is calling for here, wouldn't you want a higher ROI, right? To you, XRP may not seem as safe, but just do your own research. This is for all the ETH folks. We're literally on max support right now. This isn't financial advice, do what you wish, but Ethereum will moon. If you want to have leverage on top of your ETH, just buy XRP. And it's basically risk-free because it's not actual leverage, right? You won't lose your coins. It's indirect leverage, guys. You're going to buy XRP, you'll have a higher ROI, okay, against ETH. So why is Forbes calling for Forbes is calling for Ethereum to 10K, right? But again, ETH goes to 10K, XRP is going to $20, right? If ETH goes to like 50 to 100K, XRP is going to go to $100. Ethereum has seen exceptional growth lately, with its price soaring nearly 200% from the lows under 1.5K in April to around 4.3K now. This rally is largely driven by a significant increase in institutional adoption, as companies like SharpLink and Bitmine diversified their treasuries by making substantial Ethereum purchases. Not to mention, they're talking about again 20 billion incoming, guys, with prices moving higher, right? Or I think when the money printer starts and all this, guys, you don't need much liquidity to literally explode Ethereum, right? Nuke it. You don't need much liquidity to make it fly, and especially with XRP, you don't need the lower the market cap, you don't need as much liquidity to make it explode, guys. Okay. So with all this money going into ETH, it's gonna go flood into XRP. What will it do? It will make all boats rise. It will be the nastiest alt season ever known to mankind. This corporate interest creates a stable long-term buying pressure that contrasts with the more volatile short-lived rallies fueled by retail investors, right? Again, and we will know the top. Actually, you know what's so weird about this? We will know the top of Ethereum or Bitcoin and XRP when we see institutions selling, right? It will be a clear trend, and then it's going to be the easiest thing, guys. You're going to become millionaires. I'm not kidding. You will. I promise. I promise. I promise. One way or the other, we will. This trend suggests institutions have confidence in Ethereum's fundamental value and future potential, right? And but the key question is, what factors could propel Ethereum towards a 2x growth to reach a level of around 10K? So the factors mainly being, I think the main ones being money printer, right? I don't know if they say that here. But number two is institutions buying Ethereum like never before. Like, we need that $20 billion inflows. Technology doesn't even matter, right? These what they're saying here, such as real world utility growth, such as NFTs, DeFi, and real world assets, it doesn't even matter. They're going to be using these narratives to pump ETH. Supply demand dynamics. This kind of matters, right? This matters. But since they're going to be buying so much Ethereum, it's gonna balloon, guys, right? Regulatory clarity. So yeah, I mean there's a bunch more stuff. I'm gonna leave this in the description below, but we'll see what happens. I'm pretty sure they're gonna balloon Ethereum to astronomical heights, and that money will flow into XRP rather shortly. You guys ready for absolute moon? I would be prepared. Not financial advice. But anyways, that's what Facebook is. See ya.